adding the container is as simple as specifying var container. And this time I'm actually going to call it enemy container, so that when I read the code it makes even that much more sense. And it can be a movie clip. And then I just type new. And now what it is going to simply be an empty, plain movie clip with no, I'm not basing it on an existing piece of artwork. My player, I'll pull up the code back in a moment, is based on my player graphic or my enemy graphic. But here, my enemy container is a movie clip based on movie clip. It's not, it's just a blank empty movie clip. So I said, here, give me a blank empty movie clip. And now when I want to put this on screen, I can just type an add child enemy container. Now because I added the enemy container first, the player will be sitting on top of this container, because the first add child I issue puts that object at position 0. Remembering computers like to count it starting with 0. The next object will be at position 1, the next one at 2, and it will keep going as long as I keep adding objects. If I remove an object, then that creates a space for an object to then go to the top of the stack. So now I say add child enemy container. So far, nothing new will happen yet, but I can now add my enemies to this container. So under create enemy, if I say enemy container add child enemy, that will then put the enemy objects inside this enemy container. So I'm issuing a command, enemy container, add the enemies to you. Don't just put them on the stage, stick them inside this invisible container. Because enemy container is in essence just a shell. It doesn't have any color, background, shape, form, or anything to it. And I'm adding these enemy objects to that container. So enemy container.addChild enemy. If I run my code, I will see that now when I do this, see how I am now on top. Now, there's also another problem that's occurring that we need to solve next. If this is going to continue to be a clickable game, there's a little problem that I clicked on the objects and nothing happened. And if you test your game, it probably will illustrate the same result. Now I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to comment out my mouse hide line temporarily so we can again see what's occurring here. Now if I move really fast and get lucky, no, it's keeping up too well. If I could move fast enough that my player didn't stick with my mouse, so my cursor wasn't on my player, then this would work. But it doesn't yet. So even though we can see the mouse, what's happening is my player object is trapping the click of the mouse, because player is sitting on top of the enemy now. So when I click, enemy never hears the message. Enemy never gets to register there was a click because player trapped, it captured that event first. So the first object to be clicked on captures that event, which is good because when you stack like 10 interactive objects on top of each other, you want the one you click on to register the event, not the one 3, 4, or 10 layers deep. So it's doing exactly what I've told it to do. So we need to just put one little tweak in, and I can say player.mouse enabled. So if I just type mouse E, that highlights that. I can hit return on my keyboard to select it, then put an equal sign and type false. So that says player is no longer mouse enabled, which means player is going to stop registering and trapping that click event. It'll still move with the mouse, but it's not going to register the click. So mouse enabled has to do with the click aspect of it. So if I try my movie again, I'll see, here it is, and now I can click through my player. So that's a solution that I can work with here. And it's a good start, because now the enemies sit behind the player. The enemies are clickable. Player is not. I can re-hide the mouse now that I can see what's happening. So it's a good start into the process. But we're not done yet.